Welcome to Daily Development, your guide to unlocking your true potential. In this channel, we delve into the fascinating world of human behavior, wealth creation, and personal development. If you enjoy this type of content, consider subscribing. In today's video, we will share with you 10 classic signs of lone wolf personality, according to psychology. In the realm of psychology, there's a distinct personality type that often prefers solitude over socializing: the lone wolf. The difference between being a lone wolf and just being antisocial is all about choice. Lone wolves aren't necessarily shy or introverted. They simply choose to march to the beat of their own drum. Being a lone wolf is about relishing in your own company, enjoying your own path, and often seeing things from an angle others might not. Psychology has identified several telltale signs of a lone wolf personality. Knowing these signs can help you understand yourself or those around you better. Let's dive into the 10 classic signs you have a lone wolf personality, according to psychology. 1. You freely choose solitude over socializing. If you're a lone wolf, then you're no stranger to solitude. In fact, you probably prefer it. Albert Einstein, a theoretical physicist known for his contributions to science and philosophy, once remarked, "I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity." This insight reflects the journey of a lone wolf, the transition from the discomfort of solitude in one's younger years to the profound appreciation of it in later life. Solitude, for the lone wolf, isn't a sign of antisocial tendencies or shyness. Instead, it's a deliberate choice. A choice to dive deep into personal thoughts, to recharge in peace, and to reflect without the constant noise of the world around. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, where the emphasis often lies on social connections and networking, choosing solitude can seem counterintuitive. For those who resonate with the lone wolf persona, social interactions, while entirely within their capability, are often passed over in favor of solitude. This preference for solitude over socializing doesn't stem from an inability to engage with others, but rather from a profound appreciation for personal space and independence. Lone wolves find joy in their own company, allowing them to delve into their thoughts and emerge recharged and reflective. 2. You're fiercely independent. As a lone wolf, they always had a knack for doing things their way. Whether it's tackling a new project at work or planning a weekend getaway, they always found that they work best when they are left to their own devices. This sense of independence is a common trait among lone wolves. The famous psychologist Abraham Maslow once said, "What a man can be, he must be." Lone wolves take this quite literally. They have a strong desire to fulfill their own potential and do things their way, often finding fulfillment in their own accomplishments rather than seeking the approval of others. 3. You struggle to conform. In all honesty, being a lone wolf can sometimes feel like swimming against the current. Society has norms and expectations, and most people tend to fit in quite comfortably. But as a lone wolf, conformity doesn't come naturally. Albert Einstein, although not a psychologist but a wise man nonetheless, once said, "The one who follows the crowd will usually get no further than the crowd. The one who walks alone is likely to find themselves in places no one has ever been before." This resonates deeply with people who have a lone wolf personality. For example, when everyone else is chasing after the latest trends or participating in popular culture, you might find yourself feeling detached or uninterested. You might even feel alienated at times because your preferences and interests might not align with what's considered mainstream. This isn't because you're trying to be different for the sake of being different. It's simply because you don't see the point in doing something just because everyone else is doing it. You would rather stay true to yourself and your own values, even if it means standing out from the crowd. But remember, while this may sometimes feel isolating, it's also what makes you unique. It's what allows you to see things from a different perspective and to carve your own path in life. 4. You're an introspective thinker. If you're a lone wolf, chances are you find yourself lost in thought quite often. You likely have a rich inner life, filled with daydreams, reflections, and complex thoughts. Famous psychologist and founder of analytical psychology, Carl Jung, once said, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." Lone wolves live by this principle. They take the time to deeply understand themselves and their place in the world. This introspective nature allows lone wolves to have a deep understanding of themselves and their values. While others may be more focused on external happenings, Lone wolves often turn inward for wisdom and guidance. Remember, though, being introspective doesn't mean you're detached from the world around you. It's about understanding the world through your own experiences and thoughts. It's about finding your own meaning in life. 5. You're comfortable with discomfort. Here's something a little counterintuitive. As a lone wolf, you might find that you're actually quite comfortable with discomfort. The renowned psychologist Scott Peck once said, "The truth is that our finest moments are most likely to occur when we are feeling deeply uncomfortable, unhappy, or unfulfilled." And for lone wolves, this couldn't be more accurate. Lone wolves often find themselves in situations where they have to step out of their comfort zones, whether it's standing up for what they believe in, even when it's unpopular, or choosing their own path. Despite the uncertainty, lone wolves are no strangers to discomfort. Being comfortable with discomfort allows lone wolves to grow and learn in ways that others might shy away from. It's not about seeking out discomfort for the sake of it, but about being willing to face it when it comes. 6. You have a strong sense of self. One of the most defining traits of a lone wolf personality is a strong sense of self. You have a deep understanding of who you are, what you value, and what you want in life. In the words of the renowned psychologist Erik Erikson, "In the social jungle of human existence, there is no feeling of being alive without a sense of identity." Lone wolves exemplify this quote perfectly. They are not easily swayed by the opinions of others and tend to stick to their principles and beliefs, even when they go against the grain. Your strong sense of self is not a result of arrogance or stubbornness. Instead, it stems from a deep understanding and acceptance of who you are as an individual. You know your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions, and your values. This strong sense of self gives you the confidence to walk your own path and make decisions based on what you truly believe in, rather than what others might expect from you. It allows you to be authentic and true to yourself in all aspects of life. 7. You value deep connections over large social circles. As a lone wolf, they usually preferred having a few deep, meaningful relationships over a large social circle. It's not about quantity for them, but quality. The American psychologist Rollo May once said, "In order to be open to creativity, one must have the capacity for constructive use of solitude. One must overcome the fear of being alone." This applies not only to their creative pursuits, but also their social interactions. While they might not be the life of the party or have a massive friend group, the relationships they do have are incredibly important to them. They're based on mutual respect, understanding, and shared values. 8. You often feel misunderstood. One of the most challenging aspects of being a lone wolf is often feeling misunderstood. Because they don't conform to societal norms and expectations, people can sometimes misinterpret their actions and intentions. The notable psychologist Alfred Adler once said, "It is easier to fight for one's principles than to live up to them." As a lone wolf, this rings particularly true. They have their own unique set of principles and values that guide their actions, and it can be tough when others don't understand them. These misunderstandings can be tough to navigate, but remember, it's okay to be misunderstood. Your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. As long as you are true to yourself and your values, you're on the right path. 9. You thrive in solitude but aren't necessarily introverted. Here's a counterintuitive point. While lone wolves revel in solitude and enjoy their own company, they aren't necessarily introverts. The esteemed psychologist Carl Jung, who introduced the concepts of introversion and extroversion, said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." Lone wolves do enjoy personal interactions. They just prefer them to be meaningful and not superficial. You might be thinking that thriving in solitude is a classic sign of introversion. And while it's true that introverts recharge by spending time alone, not all lone wolves are introverts. Some might be ambiverts or even extroverts who relish their alone time. The key here is that lone wolves choose solitude not because they're drained by social interactions, but because they value the peace, freedom, and self-awareness that solitude brings. It's not about being shy or reserved. It's about enjoying your own company and cherishing your independence. 10. You're not afraid of being different. For a lone wolf, it's okay to be different. In fact, it's more than okay. It's something to be embraced. Dr. Seuss once said, "Why fit in when you were born to stand out?" This quote resonates deeply with people who has a lone wolf personality. For example, while others might feel the need to fit in or conform to societal norms, lone wolves always found comfort in embracing their uniqueness. Whether it's their taste in music, their fashion sense, or their viewpoints on certain issues, they're not afraid to stand out and be different. In this age of information overload and pressure to meet others' expectations, many struggle to connect with their core purpose and values. It's easy to lose your inner compass. With your values clearly anchored, you'll gain direction, motivation, and the compass to navigate decisions from your best self, rather than fleeting emotion or outside influences. Stop drifting without purpose